All right, let's call the meeting to order and stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Second item on the agenda is amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments?
No, sir, none for me tonight.
No amendments to the agenda. Item number 3, trucks driving on Academy Street. Mr. Corbie and his wife are here. I'll let you have the floor.
This should be on.
I have a couple of questions. It's open basically to the floor, but to the select board. You can take the questions. You don't have to answer them right now. You can think about them. But I would like an answer one way or the other. It doesn't have to be tonight. What is the criteria for obtaining an overweight truck permit? Is it by weight only? Where is it to be in effect? All town roads or specific? What is the reason for being in the area? Is it for deliveries? Is it parked there? What is it for? Just passing through. There are signs in the area where I live of no through trucks. That's basically from Prospect Street to 22A on Academy and Cemetery. They have to go through there, or Cedar, or what is it, Pleasant Street. Those 4 streets. This is the area that I am talking about in general. What is the duration of the permit? Is it for 1 year? Indefinite? A week? A month? Is a hazmat permit also required? Being that it's basically all of that over there is residential. This is an all residential neighborhood zoned except for two little posts down off of Sharon Street. Storage of hazmat in residential area, namely if a truck is parked there with a full load of say 7,000 gallons of diesel fuel, not diesel fuel, but gasoline, is that part of an ordinance? Overnight parking, just parking. I've got one area down there. Most of everybody here in town knows where it is. It's been one of the problems. The business was in operation where these trucks are parked. It is no longer in business, and if it is, I don't know how he gets in because there's snow banks on both entry doors on both sides of the building.
Talking about my building?
Could be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I was very interested in that. The trucks that are parked there are from a company that is in Weedsport, New York. I find it interesting to be parked overnight. We have 2 truck stops in this town, north of town. They're fine to be there. I'm just looking at overweight down our road. One of the trucks that I see going in there, and I know they don't park down there overnight, I don't know where he comes from, is Carrera Transport. It's a fuel truck. I don't know if he comes in off a Prospect, where he comes from, but he's come through loaded. There's a 25,000 pound limit. He may or may not have a contract or have a permit. I don't know. Ordinance of enforcement. If there's a violation, and this can be answered right now. If there's an ordinance that's written, who enforces it? Anybody have an answer?
I
I don't believe there's an ordinance that specifically pertains to these matters. I familiarize with myself with them, but
I guess we'll start.
okay.
All the trucks along there right now have permits. The permits are issued through my department. It's an annual permit. They have to provide their insurance and they have to provide all of the vehicle information. That can be a fleet or one single operator. So they will be due again on April 1st. Those trucks will come in, they will bring their insurance information to the town, they'll be issued an overweight permit.
Okay.
Why are they allowed in a residential area?
Because that end of the that town is not residential. There's an active fuel depot down at that
But
end.
they're passing my home.
There's only one way to get there is by your home.
Well, that's too
And that was
bad.
pre-existing to you moving there, unfortunately.
How long have you guys lived here?
8 years.
8 years.
And I know of that.
The oil company's been there since the 60s.
I'm not arguing the oil
To
company.
protect here.
See, I'm not arguing the oil company.
Wait, what I'd like to do is have you address the chair, not each other, and we'll have one person speak at a time, okay? I'm gonna let you finish with what you have to say, then I'll be asking other people if they would like to. That way we can all hear, and if anyone else wants to say anything, we'll recognize them. And please make your comments to the chair. Thank you.
Champlain Fuels has been down there. This is off my notes. Champlain Fuels has been down there. I want to say after I have been born. I lived in Orwell for many years. I know they're down there. I used to buy fuel from them when I was living in Orwell. I know what their business is. They deal in diesel fuel. I've been through this with the town, with the Board of Planning. We had a problem down there earlier this year or late last year, and that's 2024 to 25. We got it straightened out in the Planning Commission between myself and the owner of Champlain Fuels. There was no disagreements, there was no arguments, and everything got straightened out. That's strictly for diesel fuel. I am talking hazmat gasoline. I have a little bit of a problem with that. I've shown it to Glenn, I've shown the video to Glenn. He's very well aware of it. Anybody that wants to see it, I can bring my laptop in and I'll be very happy to show you what I was concerned about. And I think it is a concern. And I would be happy to show it to the board. But I have it on my laptop. It has to do with a very large tractor trailer coming down Academy Street. These are the types of vehicles I'm looking at, and if there was ever another truck at the same time, Glenn knows what would happen. He saw it. We'd have a mess. We would have a very heavy-duty mess. And if there's school buses around at the same time, we got a big problem. And there are school buses when some of these trucks come through here. 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. There was 2 of them this morning, one at 6:07 and one at 7:08. I've had my cameras for 3 years.
Were they driving erratic? Were they not stopping at a stop sign? Or were they causing
One
any
of them
problem?
did, one of them didn't 2 days ago, and I have a picture of that, and I can give that to
That would
you.
be something, those are types of issues we could address.
I
No problem.
will give it to you, and I will let you address it.
Which video are you referring to? That you showed Glenn?
One, that this was from two years,
Years old?
Is that the truck that you came nose to nose with?
that I came nose to nose
Yes,
with.
and I told you I could not address that because the owner of that company has passed away and is no longer alive.
And I understand it. I'm just looking at the issue itself on a residential street. Whoever owns it, I didn't know who it was, I had no idea. He found out, that's fine. And I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think the last thing I have to say is, it's just a dangerous situation on narrow residential streets. Last week, there was a tractor trailer I think it was one of the ones that delivers to Champlain Fuels, which I don't have a problem with at all in talking with the owner of the place. But the Sam's truck had to pull over and stop and pull into the driveway so he could get down the street, and it was a fully loaded truck, and Sam's had to pull over because there's no way he could have passed. It was just before you get to my house in front of Paul Jardine's. But my concern is what could happen down there. And overweight trucks is one of the overweight trucks, if they all got permits for whatever reason, but the answers to the questions I asked in the beginning, individually, what those specific situations. I know they have permits.
The permit allows them to travel for the reasons of local business and for local deliveries. We cannot regulate somebody who chooses to park on private property. There's no parking ordinance I can write anybody. Inherently, yes, it's a tiny street, but there is a garage down there. There's a fuel depot down there. We have addressed any issues that we've had. I have worked for the town for 28 years. So yes, hypothetically, there could be an incident down there tomorrow, and I agree with you. But for 28 years, I have not experienced one issue between a tractor trailer and a problem on Academy Street. As well as there's railroad tracks that run just behind this residence that haul who knows what at night. And yes, there's hypothetical, there could be issues, but we plan for those. We have a written policy on hazmat situations, and you have to look at, historically, there is not problems. I'm not saying there won't be tomorrow, and we're not saying that there isn't an issue. Unfortunately, Mr. Corbie, you are the only one complaining that lives down there. There is no other complaints that happen down there. I'm sorry that you bought the house and there's an active fuel depot down there. You and I have had this conversation repeatedly. That you probably should have looked and saw I have railroad tracks behind me, I have Eagles Club across from me, and I have a fuel depot down at the end of the street. And those are the things you complain about. I don't think there's any legislation we can do to keep them out of there. This man owns the property. He's trying to operate that property. He might get a little bit of kickback for those trucks parking there to offset his taxes and his revenue. There is an active fuel depot out there that trucks do come and go. We go down, we see them loading and unloading. I don't know what more we can do to solve the problem for you.
I guess,
Could you
yeah.
state your name for?
My name's Kevin Toll. I own the garage at 42 Academy Street. It was Lloyd Whipple's shop that was there for years. I guess in terms of the trucks parking there, that's my personal property. I don't see how a man that lives up the street has anything to do with what I want to park there. That's my right. And in the same sentence, trucks have been grandfathered into down there since I was a kid. And I meant to dig up the deed to my property. There's a clause in that deed to commercial trucks using that street and coming in and out of that street. So I don't see
That street being,
Academy Street.
The trucks are properly permitted. The overweight permit, allows them to go, if they have a reason, to travel on any town road with that permit. And that is the same, every town issues a permit. They cannot go on 4th Street unless they have a local delivery, like to the school. They can't go on Academy Street unless they have a reason to be there. The reason is they're using this facility.
Academy Street, I mean, your local oil trucks, you're gonna find them delivering to houses all on those streets. There's no way to take those trucks off of that area.
that is the issue.
That is,
I mean, they come and go, though. They come and they're not doing it, they drive, they park, they leave.
their trucks,
May I speak?
You can.
Thank you. Over the years, has anyone noticed that the size of the trucks have grown? They're not the little trucks that you've okayed 50 years ago. They are huge. They are carrying much more dangerous equipment. They are going to cause a lot more trouble.
Gasoline hasn't changed. The product is
The amount they're carrying
Sir,
has.
We'll wait and let her.
Thank you.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
The amount they're carrying has changed. The way some of these drivers are going up and down that street has changed. They are ruining our street It already needs repaving. They're ruining our overhead canopy of trees. We didn't buy into a commercial or business zone. We bought a residential zone. And we are not getting it.
Okay, thank you. Now
I really have nothing else to add. I mean, like he mentioned that, you know, if you look, when you buy a piece of property, if you maybe circulate the area and see the things that are there, they've been there, and like he also stated that no one else on that side of town really has a issue with the trucks. So I got nothing else to say.
I have something else I wanted to give the board members a chance if you had any comments or questions.
Only
so far.
To express that I understanding your concerns, hearing your complaints. I haven't experienced what you've experienced personally. I don't know firsthand what the impact is on your quality of life and on your neighborhood. I don't know what it would be within our power to even do were we to address this matter directly the way that I think you're suggesting. And maybe I would like some clarity on what, if anything, is being suggested, but I don't think that we could pass an ordinance that would have any kind of, that would supersede whatever authority or whatever right this gentleman has to conduct his business as he is. I'm not a legal expert, and I'm not familiar with the matter well enough to really make any claim. But.
And Lou, did you want to say something?
Yes, please. Ma'am, sir, I live around the block from you folks on Cemetery Street. I have for 46 years. My grandparents before that, my mom and dad before me. I've never once complained about the trucks going up and down 22A, and there's 100 more houses on 22A. The same size trucks that are on Academy Street. That business has been there since way before I was born, before my dad was born. And they use that street, why? For the fuel depot that's down there. I honestly don't know what you're looking to have us pass or do here, other than the fact that 7 or 8 trucks, maybe a day, go down that road to either park, to fuel up, to do deliveries. I just, if you look around, all the streets in town need work.
Okay. Rich, anything you want to add?
Not really. I also own a house on Academy Street I've been working on for a long time. And it's a pretty quiet little neighborhood. Kind of like it. Haven't seen a problem, but I'll be more vigilant and see if I can determine if there's a problem.
Now, you've been trying for a while, Rose. What did you want to say?
I've lived on Cedar Street for 30 years. This year, as a matter of fact, 30 years. I find most of the big truck drivers to be considerate. They're always very diligent about watching for the kids, because I got a daycare across the street, and I don't have the daycare. There's a daycare across the street from me, and you know, the trucks going back and forth, they're going very slowly. If they're at the intersection with Academy, if there's a car on the other side, they wave them on so that they can go around without doing any damage anywhere. As far as I can see, this business has been there long before I was there. I don't see, and I apologize, I do understand your concerns. But that business was there long before you guys bought your property. It was there long before I moved in.
And keep the comments to me, to the...
Oh, well, I was just apologizing. But, yeah, seriously, I have not found a problem. Yes, they're overweight. Yes, it is affecting, you can't get away from it affecting the pavement. But there's really nothing you can do about that. And I would just like to point out, and as much as I like Al, and I have found his pedal trucks, I found a lot of the pedal truck drivers to be a lot more obnoxious about, I was going down Academy just the other day towards 22A. I literally had to be up, that was right after the ice storm. I literally had to be right up almost on the sidewalk because they wouldn't move over 3 feet and there was not ice where they were, those 3 feet were not ice. He was just coming right on down. Mm-hmm. I have an Explorer, I have an old Explorer. I'm not invisible.
Okay.
So.
Oh, you were trying to get in, I didn't want to miss.
One thing that some of the people here, that what I've been hearing, and I have talked some of this over with Glenn, my concern is not with the delivery trucks that we know every single day, 7 or 8 or 10 trucks or more a day. That is not the issue here. Okay? The issue is with the 18-wheel tractor trailers, number one, that are loaded. We're talking probably 50, 60,000 pounds. Yes, sir.
Now, in order for those pedal trucks to load fuel out of the fuel depot,
yes, sir,
the loaded tractor trailers need to bring in said fuel.
Okay, I agree, and I had the conversation with the owner of that company, with Mr. Bob Richards sitting where Glenn is sitting at a meeting, and that the big trucks were the issue, not the little ones. He told me here in this room that he would do his best and tell all of his drivers, because he admitted to us that his drivers were coming from New York, delivering to him, and coming back out and using Cedar Street, Prospect Street, and the end of Academy Street. There's the issue. That was what he agreed to. Not to have them running up and down Academy Street, fully loaded or empty. He told me that they go down around the corner, and what Miss Van Loo is talking about is correct. They come in there. That wasn't the issue. So if anybody thinks that, I know that station's been there. I know they have grandfathered for diesel fuel. But at the time, there was a lot of other trucks. We got that all straightened out. That's a done deal. With nobody arguing with anybody or even saying any words. He was in agreement. He made the decision, not me. I'm just looking at the big trucks coming down. I got a daycare kitty corner to me. And I've seen those trucks right up on their roadway, right in their driveway, coming this way, empty, okay? They're the gas trucks. There's no reason for a fully loaded gas petroleum truck to be down at that fuel depot, because he doesn't deal in it. He deals in diesel fuel, and that's his admission. I have no problem with his business. I have never had it, folks. Never.
Are there any other comments or anything anyone wants to add?
The only thing I would like to say is that comparing 22A with Academy Street is a little ridiculous. I mean, 22A is made for business. It's made for big trucks, it's made for business traffic. It's made for the businesses that are operating on that street.
It's still
Academy
residential.
is
in your
not.
area.
It's a mix.
It's still residential in your area.
Right.
That's commercial down through there, because it's commercial across the street and all the way Bob Richards and all the way out through. And we knew that, Chief, coming in. We knew that 22A is a state highway, we know that.
I just want to go back. If the trucks are legally permitted, they have permits that go there. It's private property. We can't enforce what they do on private property. I'm sorry. I have talked to the owner of the daycare about that issue, and they have no complaints about the trucks.
But if there's nothing else to add, if you look, we're not in a position where I don't think there isn't an answer, yes, no, or whatever. My understanding, just so I've got it right myself, is that you came in to express what you feel is a problem. And you had some questions that you're looking for answers for. And I want to thank you for coming in also, Mr. Cole, because it helps to have, we support everybody in this town, but to come in and so we can hear all sides. If the board is, no other questions?
No.
I have none.
Then we will thank you for coming in and sharing that with us, but we don't have anything to change from what we've been doing right along. I don't want you to feel that they're saying that if you were asking to stop all 18-wheel traffic on Academy, I didn't hear that's going to happen. As long as they're permitted trucks, I heard it's going to continue, is what I heard.
Nor do I know what the mechanism would be by which we would prevent it from happening. It sounds like they're well within their rights to do it, and I'm not sure it's within our power as a body to change that. If I'm incorrect, then I'm all ears.
If they're not breaking any laws and they're legal, like Chief said, I don't see what the issue is as long as they're legal.
If we see a truck down there, if it's a truck we know has a permit, we don't stop them. If it's one we have not seen before, we will stop them. The first is, we try to do correction, not enforcement the first time. You need to have a permit, this is the process, why are you here? If it's somebody that's going and they're just coming 22 and they're cutting Academy over to Cedar or one of them, then all they're doing is skirting off the main road. That is a violation. If they're going to a place like his, or they're delivering for some reason, and then we would explain, look, you can't be here without a permit. You don't have a reason to be in this neighborhood. So that's kind of the definition of how we do enforcement between the two. If it's the same truck we've caught multiple times, we're gonna write them a ticket.
And the other one, I know you may feel like, gee, I didn't get any answers here. Don't have any different answers. My other concern when I sit here is, if you get into a zoning question, that's not in our purview either. We're not, as a select board, that's not our decision making. So that's separate issue too.
That's understood. That's understood.
So your suggestion is if we want to do something about this, we have to go to zoning?
No, I didn't say that either. I said that we have the questions you have here. The delivery and the trucks going down there that have been going down there, I don't see those stopping. I see them continuing. They need to be permitted and then going down there is what you've heard, but that's what I heard here. I don't want to send you doing something that you'd find that you think I'm just sending you off to spin your wheels, because I don't know if that's the answer.
My question too, though, is a lot of the trucks are only coming through one way. Now, if they can come from someplace else, why can't they go back where they came from instead of bothering our little quiet residential street?
We see them come in, we don't see them go out.
So why is it just one way
it might be their travel if they're coming up 22 from the New York area, they would turn onto Academy Street, go where they are, and if they come out, the easiest way to access 4A to get back to the highway would be to go out Pleasant Street or Cedar Street. So you might not see them come back,
Our poor little street is just use it as what.
but it's okay for Cedar Street to have that problem. I guess that's where I'm going, and we beat this horse for months. And we're at the same answers, you've been given the same answers every time we talk about this. And I don't want you to be mad at me, but I'm just trying to be like, we've beat this horse over and over and over. They are legally permitted to be there, and unfortunately, you bought a property that's in that line of traffic.
And when we bought the property, it was not like the way it is now.
We did, sir, we did our due diligence when we bought it, believe me. Okay, it may sound like we didn't, okay? But I did due diligence on this whole thing well before that.
There might just be some things we have to accept in life that you may not like it, but
And
that's what
maybe
it is.
you have to accept the fact that certain people are not going to be happy with constant traffic, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, waking us up, rattling the dishes in the cupboard.
And whatever. Okay, I work nights. So does the policeman next door. Okay, if somebody goes through the corner or starts off with a big truck or something happens at that corner, Naj is not gonna be happy.
Naj is not calling.
And I'd
know he
like
hasn't
to
yet.
bring this to conclusion.
If you can give me some answers or somebody to the questions that I asked, if somebody can get back to me with those specific answers is what I'm looking for to those questions because of what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
just.
The permits in
please be
Just what
question,
I'm looking at.
the permits in question would be state permits, yes?
That's fine.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're going to take and move on to approval of the minutes from January 6th. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from January 6th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Key. Any discussion, errors, omissions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting on the 15th?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes on the 15th as read.
Do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
Seconded by Sam. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Department head reports.
In the last 2 weeks, we had just 2 arrests, which is 3 for, actually not in the last 2 weeks, since the 5th. We've had 3 arrests. 1 was a wanted person, 1 is possession of stolen property. Motor vehicle in the last approximately, we'll say 2 weeks, was 73 traffic tickets, 26 written warnings, 3 parking violations, and 1 car crash. We did 6 sets of civilian fingerprints. I supplied you with an outline of what we've done, some highlights. Go on the next page. Just for longevity notes, this is starting my 22nd year as the chief. David Ricard, I'd like to acknowledge, he's been here for 22 years also as a part-time patrolman, and Kean Quinn is beginning his 3rd as a part-time patrolman. In this period, we've had 196 calls, and we are at 258 for the year so far. And then revenue, they have not posted yet for December, why I have not given you the revenue report. I think that's all I have, nothing spectacular since the new year, steady.
Any questions for the chief?
I'm inclined to go back to the matter of these permits and see if maybe the chief has the answers to the questions to save me the trouble, but if now is not the best time for that.
It's up to you.
Okay.
So is that,
I would, we have the questions written down. I'd say we let the chief take a pass
Put it
and
in everybody's box.
then give it to us so we all know the answers.
Did
And
you
then
get
we'll
a
get-
copy of what he was looking for, the actual, did anybody write it down?
I wrote down the questions so I can send that electronically.
Okay.
I'll send that to Joe, you'll get it to you, and then we'll make that happen, okay? That way we'll get a copy back to the Corbies as well as to each of us as board members so we know. Does that make sense?
In a nutshell, Sam, what they do is every year, not to go into too deep, just like I already explained, April 1st they're due. If a truck goes past April 1st, then they're in violation because they didn't renew that. They have to show they have active insurance to cover any damages or any, but that covers any town road. But that's not just our town, that's Pulteney, that's West Haven, any town that has those. And they're basically, like I said, Academy is an exemption, like you can't just travel that road. You have to have a reason. West Street, the same way. It has to be local delivery only, or a reason to go to that location, if that makes sense. Like 4th Street, the traffic you cannot travel across, they have to come down and around to go back up, unless they're delivering to the high school or delivering fuel somewhere, or...
I got the impression some of the trucks they were referring to are owned and operated by businesses other than the one that they are making deliveries to. Like, I'm not very familiar.
The 2 trucks that he has in question is they park there every night. They go down there, I don't know what the deal is, I believe I've been told, when I went down to need a permit, he's like, we've been here 7 years and didn't realize that. So they come in, they park, I don't know if they're delivering fuel in or out, I don't have any idea, but they go down there, they park, and then they go home. The next day they come back in, they leave. And I don't know where they're from, they do have permits, they did apply for a permit, I can't pull the name off the top of my head.
So
There are 2 trucks, the license plate are only one number different on both of them, same company.
okay, so the company that's making the deliveries has to apply for a local permit with us in order to make that delivery.
To go on those roads,
Okay.
they have to apply for, it's a $10 permit.
Okay.
To come off onto a road that's posted 24,000 or under, they have to have a local permit.
Okay.
If not, it's a fine. Some towns are rather large fine. But they have to supply, these are the vehicles, this is the fleet, this is what our truck's rated for, this is what we're asking for a permit for. If we find a truck we think's overage, we'll call DMV, come down and they'll weigh them right here on the street. And then DMV hits them hard.
Okay.
But historically, we've not had any issues down there. I'm not saying there'll probably be one tomorrow because I said that, but
What are those permits called again?
they're overweight permits.
Just overweight.
Well, they're on the report, so you see it says 0. There's 0 now because we'll start getting them now. They'll start coming in and we'll start sending them back out to people with the new dates effective. And we run probably 150 of them a year.
Is there no more questions for the chief? Thank you.
I just got one comment. That's a lot of calls for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
A lot of it's traffic.
Yeah, but still,
We've been out, we've been active, we've been trying to hit.
that's busy.
I mean, if you look at some of the speeds, so we're still, it's nothing to whack an 80 and 22A. Like, it's just, it doesn't matter how much we hit that, they just keep coming and coming and coming. But
Keith, you said you had a comment?
Yeah. Not to be dead horse to death, thank you for your service.
thank you.
22 years is a long time.
Yes.
Thank you
Very
very
good.
much, chief.
I appreciate it also.
Okay, Joe, department head, looks like you're the rest of the department heads.
Like I'm it. Okay. So I got the document that's the audit document that's going into our annual report. I got that just maybe 45 minutes ago. So that'll be ready for the printer, and the book is going to the printers tomorrow morning. So we're right on schedule for getting our annual report out just in time for town meeting. The pet mayor begins this month, so if you're looking forward to that as much as I am, that's coming up. We got an RFP going out for that leak at the water plant out of the tunnel. The RFP's going out for that tomorrow.
And that's just an RFP for inspecting the leak?
It's gonna be for inspecting and then construction. We're looking for an engineer to do the project.
Okay.
So they're gonna look at it, and then they're gonna start finding funding, and then they're gonna start a project.
Okay.
Next,
The leak,
at the water plant,
but the leak at the water plant.
correct. And we have an RFP out for replacing those water filters that are up there now. We'll start going through the responses hopefully next week. I want to thank the fire department. They've done a nice job clearing up their stuff out of the big room upstairs. Slowly and slowly, we're making time on that project. As part of that, the fire department is going to be holding trainings up in their new, not in the big room, but in their new training space. So they're getting use out of it. We had a meeting up there earlier this year. As it comes together, we'll start having more and more meetings upstairs. I talked about the audit already. Let's talk about opportunity zones. I reached out to our federal representatives. I have a meeting with Ms. Ballant's office on Thursday. We're trying to get Fairhaven's census area and turned into an opportunity zone. That'll help with our businesses. That'll help investment in our area. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's every little bit.
That's great. Thank you,
We're
Jim.
knocking on the doors. The state owes us $1.3 million. I talked to Philo, his name's Philo. He understands that we want our money. I sent him all of the paperwork just before this meeting and he said he would expedite that. So the holdup was not on the state side, the holdup was on our contractor side, which I didn't realize that until like 2 weeks ago. I thought everybody had their stuff in, but finally got that done. I want to note that we had two, I'm going to call them homes, but I think one was a trailer and one was kind of like a tiny house. We had 2 homes installed in Fairhaven just in like the last, 30 days, Mr. Greeno? You know, over there on Park and then on Central, one was installed.
Yeah, a couple weeks probably.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah, they're still working on Park Ave. I'm not, not Park Ave, Center Street. I'm not sure what's going on there. There's a big hole in the ground.
There's an actual tiny home in
Did
there.
you say one trailer and one what?
I'm going to call it tiny home. I don't know what you call this little thing.
Where
It's
are
not a
these,
trailer.
where are these
They're easy to
located?
heat.
One is on Center Street.
Like a double one?
No,
They're
around the corner
real.
from me.
It's not on a chassis. I don't know what it
It's
is.
from Prospect around Academy.
It's cool.
That's right, it is. Yep.
So if you
Like
go
600
to
square feet,
Academy
maybe a little bigger.
and you go.
Do we know if these are transplants to the area or,
No, one is the son of the guy owns the lot next door and it's his boy that's gonna be moving in, and the other one, I think the daughter's moving in because she's going to college. So, I mean, more people, but,
Get them to vote.
yeah. And we got some good news. So the town, the Economic Development Committee in the town, for a lot of years, we've been working with our local businesses to get them grant funding to help improve their businesses or expand their businesses. This year we applied Old School Bagels. We applied for them so that way they could get some equipment, and the state awarded them almost $5,600.
Awesome.
In an equipment grant. So we thank the state for supporting the town of Fairhaven. If anybody's keeping track, we're at almost $60,000 that the town has helped our businesses get for improvement. So I would challenge anybody to find a town that supports their businesses more than the town of Fairhaven. $60,000 is a lot of money. And we'll end on that. That's the good news I have for today.
Questions for Joe?
What's an opportunity zone?
So I'm not an expert in opportunity zones, but as I understand it, it's what they call a census tract. The Census Bureau sets these up. And it's an area where it could be a low income or poverty stricken area where businesses are then giving tax credits to set up their shop in that opportunity zone. It's a way for them to shelter their earnings. So, and we have a factory right down the street that would be
So,
ideal.
for example, Skyline, and if that was an opportunity zone, I think the governor actually signed that into effect last year, or was that done?
No, opportunity zones, the first round was in 2018, and this is
Okay.
this is round 2. So we're getting our foot in the door this time.
Good. Anything else?
I have a question for the manager. What's the story on our crosswalk signs? Are they been programmed, all set to go?
This one is not programmed, the other one is programmed.
Is there,
That's waiting on me, Mr. Greeno.
okay,
We'll get there.
all
I
right,
finally got the instructions.
okay. Well, there's a couple people that's asked me and I said, I don't have the answer for you yet, so.
Yep.
I'll say, call Joe.
To the one by the park that is working.
Even if you push the button, man, I've been there, people are still flying.
I pushed it a couple weeks ago, wife and I were walking over to go breakfast at Bagels, I pushed it. She goes, they gotta stop, I says, we gotta be careful because they still don't stop even though we're pushing the button and it's
To
lighting
push the
up.
button, that whole corner is surrounded by ice or a snowbank. So while you're trying to get to it,
To the button to push?
you can't.
Yeah, that,
It's so hard because it is awful.
there's one thing that she did mention to me, I says, I know the selectmen, one of them, I said, I'll talk to him. So I talked to myself into just ignoring it.
Any other questions for Joe?
No, that's all I had for tonight.
Under old business, we have police department cruiser purchase approval.
Yeah, so I think it was at the last meeting, so to expend out of our reserve funds, I need the board's approval. I just can't buy a cruiser out of that fund, so this is the approval to use the reserve funds to buy that car.
Was we lucky enough to find it?
You got one all lined up? No? Yes? Okay. Well, you
Right
shook your head and you went no, so.
We will have.
So it's, the car's 11.5 after the taxes, well, not taxes, but the transfer fees, it was 12.1.
Do you need a motion to?
I do need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we take the money out of the reserve fund for the police cruiser.
Of $12,100.
$12,100.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Keith. We know what we're doing. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we just go by.
It's that easy, Bill.
Under new business, we have liquor and tobacco licenses.
Can I just back up for a minute?
Sure.
Just because there's been a lot of the chiefs getting a new car out there. The chief did not get a new car. It's a line car, and it's not a new car. We paid $12,000 for a car. New cars are $45,000. An outfitted car is $70,000. So I think we're being financially responsible by spending $11,500 on a car, not counting the fees. The $12,000 on a car.
Very much.
That we probably will get hopefully 5 to 8 years out of.
Thank you.
The car's new to you, but not brand
We like a
new.
new one, yes.
Yes.
I understand to be physically responsible, but I wanted to put out there, we did not get a new car because at this point, our funding was not there. We needed to replace the car. And it is replacing a car that we are hoping to sell. So if we got $5,000 for that car, we really only spent $7,000 to replace it, to put another car on the line. So I just wanted to be clear, because I keep seeing it out there.
Duly noted.
Hammer in the police department about a new car, so it's $12,000. Try to buy a brand new car anywhere.
If an issue comes up with us.
You demonstrated the need
Yeah, good.
very well over many weeks, so
Done well.
I don't think there's any ambiguity about that.
So moving on to new business, liquor and tobacco license. It looks like Walgreens has a request. Does anyone want to make the motions for that?
I'll make a motion to approve a second-class liquor license for Walgreens Eastern Company Incorporated.
Do I have a second?
So I'm not sure I saw the motion or the request.
I have that, that's all I have.
Yeah, I also have an outline of the types of liquor licenses included.
You won't get the request, Danny gives me the form, and then I just turn it out for.
Okay,
Oh, so we don't have that.
It's Walgreens looking for a second class
Oh, we
license.
get this right here.
Okay.
Okay.
So do I have a second to Rich's motion
I'll second
for
it.
the second-class liquor license? I have a second by Keith. Do we know what we're doing? All those in favor?
Aye.
Also make a motion to approve a tobacco license and a tobacco substitute endorsement for Walgreens Eastern Company Incorporated.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Sam has seconded. We know what we're doing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, wait a minute, that was tobacco and what?
Says tobacco and tobacco substances.
Substitute.
Substitute endorsement.
Substitute endorsement.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's
Yeah,
bait and stuff, I think.
Zin or chew.
Whatever it is the kids do these days.
Yeah.
I was misspeaking there.
It's okay.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Item 9 on our agenda, 2 minutes for public comment. Do I have any public comment?
Yes, I do. So, Maple Street. On Cottage Street, there is a handicapped child. He goes to school, obviously at the grade school. He uses Maple Street for his walker or his wheelchair. It's so icy, he's not able to travel on that road.
I know
The
who you're
bus,
talking about. I know.
Leighton, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's my nephew, or my cousin, nephew, cousin. But they're not able to use that for him to go to school. He likes to be outside to walk. He should be able to do that, to go to school. The road is not in good shape. Snow, ice. I just walked to my garbage can today and almost busted my boat. It's so icy.
Is that the alleyway right there?
Yes, yep. Behind the businesses. And he would cut out through there with his mother, going to the grade school. And he's not able to access it with his walker or his wheelchair.
Just want to can I give them a little history of when we stopped putting salt in that, as you're talking the alleyway over here? And it was a few years ago that we got a complaint from one of the business owners that the salt was eating away whether we put down there, and then when it was plowed, it was eating away at the side of their building.
We put sand on it.
And so we stopped putting salt. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know, but doesn't mean you can't
Sand it.
put some sand or whatever. I don't know, Joe, if you have anything.
I do know about the young man. In fact, the mother has my personal cell phone number, and if she has a concern, whether it be at the school, on the sidewalks, in the alley, anywhere in this town, she knows she calls me. I have not received any complaints about this young man's ability to get back to school.
She had mentioned it at one point to me.
So she hasn't mentioned it to me, and I met with her just a few weeks ago about this. Our staff has done an excellent job making sure the playground is accessible, the sidewalks are accessible, and we've made sure that she had my personal cell phone number in case anything was needed to be done. She also has Nate's cell phone number. If anything needs to be done, Nate knows he is to be called and take care of it.
So,
This young man is being taken care of and right by the town of Fairhaven.
just so I can kind of summarize where we are, it sounds like we are now aware of it and we're going to go out and
I had just told her I would mention it.
put some
so.
sand and salt and so that this young man can.
The town is taking very good care of Mr. Lake.
Good.
He's a pretty special little guy.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Moving on to parking lot. Anything to talk about in the parking lot, folks?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like Joe gave us an update on the water plant rehab and how it was going.
That's why
I
had some questions, but he answered them.
And the sidewalk downtown, we've got an advisory thing in the warning, so that's moving forward. I know the downtown designation neighborhood, that's part of the group that's out working, trying to make those pieces come together. Park ordinance and I don't have an update for park ordinance or blighted property, but, so there are some things being done in those, the whole point I'm making. Moving on to board roundtable. Sam?
Adding another ordinance to our list of ordinances to review and revise, which is something I intended to return to once we were past budget season, and now we are very much past budget season, mercifully, well, hopefully. Fingers crossed that it passes on town meeting day. But adding to that, a conversation I had with Rosie recently about the sidewalks downtown and potentially codifying whatever it is our policy has been or what we would like it to be around who's responsible and to what extent they're responsible for maintaining the sidewalks in the business district. My understanding is there's been a long-standing understanding between the town and the building owners that the building owners themselves would take care of it to an extent. I don't know the specifics, but I think Rose and I in our conversation, I think it would behoove us to put it down in writing and maybe have an ordinance written that says this is who is responsible for maintaining sidewalks in the town of Fairhaven and to what extent during the winter months. I didn't find an example of that type of ordinance in a very cursory search that I did, but I will do a little more digging so we have kind of a template to work off of. Yes, Glenn?
Were you looking to write a new ordinance, or maybe take the sidewalk ordinance that we already have and put something in it?
Does the sidewalk ordinance, I'm sorry, so there's sidewalk ordinance
Well, we
covers
have
that
one that
already?
deals with, if you have to replace the sidewalk, it tells you what you replace it with, and so there is a sidewalk ordinance in our list of ordinances, so.
It would probably make
My
more
only
sense to
suggestion
amend
is,
that one.
as you
Yeah.
look at it, maybe easier rather than reinventing the wheel, going in there and adding a section that who's responsible for what. It's just a suggestion.
I definitely agree with that. And then the only other thing I would add is that a couple of weeks ago, I actually signed an oath of office to serve as assistant town clerk, which I have not begun doing yet, but I wanted to notify all of you and let it be on the record for the meeting that that's something I'll be doing 8 hours a week starting very soon.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I'll be here in the town office more often. I would also like that to be an opportunity for folks, maybe not while I'm doing my work, but to bear in mind that there is a member of the select board who will be in the town office more frequently if they're looking to get someone's ear about things.
Good. Thank you.
I can't top that, so I'm good for tonight. I can't follow that.
Tough act to follow, okay?
There is.
Rich?
Likewise, I'm all set tonight. I mean, the roads have been a little icy here and there, but it's winter, and it's just an ongoing project to keep them going. So they're doing pretty well. So from what I've seen.
I have 2 items. One, I've got to meet our new intern for DPW. Is it Tegan or Keegan?
Oh my God.
Is it Tegan or
No,
Keegan?
Keegan, I think.
Keegan.
I hope I got that right.
He's the one, so if you see who's doing the sidewalk plowing and everything, that's our newest intern.
He's doing
You
okay.
might want to say hi.
Tall, skinny young man. I saw him one day. I was on my bus. I just kind of feeling up, coming back this way, and he was beaten up through by the bank. He was waving, I was waving, so I didn't recognize him, so it must be him.
And I wanted to share with the board that I got the equalization study results for 2025, where the common level of appraisal, the CLA you're about, came out to 74.56%. So when you take the coefficient dispersion that they add to that right there, we came to 23.17. Now what that means is 20% or greater, it triggers the state telling you have to do a reappraisal. We're already doing a reappraisal, but this is a document that says, hey, everything's saying you should do a reappraisal. Ours is gonna be this summer.
But didn't it trigger last year? That's why we started the process?
It's been triggered
I
for,
think that's what.
more than 1 year.
We started the process, that's why we've got them on board now. This
But
is just a continuation of the same thing. Yeah.
and that's all I have. Let's review the financial reports, and with Chad being out, Rich has graciously volunteered to make the motions for us.
Attaboy.
Thanks, Rich.
If I can make a motion, you ready? I'll make a motion and we pay the payroll warrant of $34,657.39.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Sam. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to pay the general warrant of $173,961.27.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Sam seconded it.
Some of the big checks wrote in that were Cargill Salt and Casella, I believe it was. It was, yeah.
Some big change. All those in favor? Aye.
And the checkbook status is again minus $696,736.54.
Yeah, big check on its way from the state. when we get,
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of promises, but
I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session, for contract negotiation. Make that motion.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
For contract negotiation.
Contract negotiation.
Yeah, time given.
1 VSA 313A1.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Rich. All those in favor?
Aye.